Hi, I'm Mike with Homes Quality Products. Today, I want to talk to you about the Wells Fargo Attune Credit Card. I think I'm saying that right. Attune, but their new credit card. Now, I'm going to tell you at first glance, I didn't think this card was that great. Just looking at the 4% categories, I kind of looked at it and I was like, I don't know how many people this is really going to apply for. But as I dug deeper into the card and where those 4% categories are, this card is useful for a lot more people than I thought originally. We're actually going to get into those things in this video. So after I go through the basics, we'll get into like each category a little bit more, and you'll see there's quite a bit of value to this card. So first off, it's a no annual fee card, but this card does have foreign transaction fees. So if you're traveling outside the U.S., leave this one home. All right, the 4% categories. I'm just going to show you the basic, which is how Wells Fargo kind of put it out there. And then we'll dig deeper into it so you can see really how much value there is to this card. All right, so the 4% categories on this card are self-care, select sport, recreation, and entertainment, and 4% on impactful purchases. And then 1% on everything else. So just saying that was like, this seems very niche on which you can use 4%, get 4% back on. Right now they have a bonus offer on this card. It is $100 when you spend $500 on the card. So that's within 3 months. So that's an easy, free $100 you're going to get for just spending on normal purchases you may do anyway. This card also has cell phone insurance. So if you pay for your cell phone bill with this card, you'll get $600 worth of insurance, and it's just a $25 deductible. So a free extra perk. Also, I want to mention Wells Fargo has a thing called Wells Fargo Deals. I always say this in my other videos. You want to add those things to your card. So it might be an extra like 5% at McDonald's, or 10% at some other place you may go to, or I don't know, it could be 5% at a Circle K gas station, and just add them to your card because that's an additional percentage you're going to get back just by adding that to the card. So when you got a little free time, instead of spending a whole lot of time on social media, make sure you're taking a little bit of time and add these things to your cards. No matter if it's Wells Fargo, Chase, Citi, Amex, they all have them. Add those to the cards because it's free money, it's easy to use, and you might as well do it because you're going to be killing time doing something else anyway. Just scroll through and add them. Also, I always say add them all because you might spend it at somewhere you didn't expect to. So when I was getting business cards the last time, I didn't realize I added it through the company that I got the business cards through, and I saved an additional percentage just because I had already added to that card. All right, so now let's dig deeper into these 4% categories so you guys can really see there's quite a bit of value to this card. Okay, the first one we're going to look at is self-care. So that's beauty and barbershops, gym memberships, health and beauty spas, massage parlors. Now, I'm not going to go through everything on every one of these. I'm just going to mention some of the things that stand out. So I don't know what kind of places they have in your area, but they gave some examples of Supercuts, which I know is in most cities, LA Fitness, Soul Cycle, a few different spas and things like that. So there's a little bit to this. So if you're going to get your hair cut, use this one, or you want to go get a massage, or you're going to get your nails and whatever you're going to the spa, there's 4% back in quite a few different places there. But you're going to see more when we get to the other categories. All right, next we're going to talk about sport, recreation, entertainment. This has categories such as create and collect, gardening and floral, other recreations and leisure activities, pet care, sports recreation equipment, sports and live entertainment, stream music, movies, and books. Now, as we go through these categories, you can pause anytime you want to look at the stuff on here because there's quite a bit. So let's start with this, create and collect. You have art supplies, craft shops, cameras and photography, hobby toys, game shops, sewing, needlework, quite a few things here. And if you look over the other side, the examples they give you is Etsy, Michael's, the Oculus store, the GoPro. I'm sure a lot of the normal like camera places, maybe like GameStop. So just seeing this, if you have you or somebody, a family member that's into these type of hobbies. Like I know I've been to Michael's quite a few times, and you know, the Oculus store, I've bought a few things. The Lego store also there. So quite a few things. This to me becomes almost like a store card at those places. Next up, we have gardening and floral. Florist supplies, nursery and lawn garden supplies. Where I live at, I don't really deal with those things, but this is still some, you know, where you're at, you may have a garden or whatever. So you have some flower shop network. You have the garden greenhouse, do my own. You have flowers.com. So there's a few selections there. So if you're gardening or you want to, you know, you maintain your lawn a certain way, you might find that you get another 4% discount in those areas. Now, under other recreation and leisure activities, you got aquariums, you got zoos, you got amusement parks, billiard and pool halls, you know, bowling alleys, cruises, carnivals, fortune tellers, kind of weird dance halls, studios, schools, public golf courses. And like I said, I'm not going to keep going through everything, but you can pause and look through here. But some of the things that stood out to me is Affinity Sports, Discovery Cove, Disneyland, Disney World. What else we got here? We got zoos. So we got the Houston Zoo there, but I'm sure other ones are included. Kennedy Space Center, Six Flags, Universal Orlando. So quite a few things. If you take the family or plan a vacation, this could be your card to get 4% back at those places. So like one thing I'm seeing is like a pattern here is if you shop at these places or you go to certain things, this almost becomes like a store card, but it can be multiple stores in one card. Next up, we have pet care. With pet care, you have pet shops, pet food, pet stuff, right? You got BarkBox, Chewy, Petco, Rover. So if you have a pet, you're probably spending some money. There you go, 4% back in those areas. Sports and recreation equipment, you got bicycle shops, boat rentals, leasing, marinas, motorhome, sports, riding apparel stores, sporting goods. And if you look at the sides of the merchant examples, they have Academy Sports. But here's one, look at brand retailers. Adidas, Asics, Nike, Under Armour. So for me, I know I like Brooks a lot. And there may be other ones that whatever you shop at that you may find in there that you like. So 4%. You also have Dick's Sporting Goods in there, Eddie Bauer, and Peloton. So to me, just seeing the Academy, the Dick's Sporting Goods, and then the brand retailers and the list they have right there, and I can imagine it goes on, like that's a lot. This is where I was like, wow, like, you know, like I don't shop at Nike a lot, but I know a lot of people that do, like 4% back. Like, so I'm not sure if this includes every single item. I would assume it'd all be under one thing, just being a Nike store. But still, that's a lot of places. You're going to get 4% back at all these different stores. Next up, we have sports and live entertainment. You got bands, orchestras, miscellaneous entertainment, commercial sports, professional sports, clubs, athletic fields, sport promotions. So if we look on the side though, you got box office and the names like Daytona International Speedway, and some other ones on there that may be closer to what you're at. I'm from Florida, so like Daytona stands out to me. The Legoland, the two big ones for me to stop the most of was Ticketmaster and Vivid Seats. Like I've booked quite a few times Ticketmaster and Vivid Seats, another 4% back. And then for this category to finish it off, we got streaming music, movies, and books. So you have here bookstores, cable and other, pay television, digital goods, DVD, videotapes, which I don't know too many people. I mean, I still like to buy stuff on Blu-ray, but most people don't. Motion picture theaters. That one's I'm a little curious about if that just is anytime you go to the theaters. But the merchant examples they give you is Apple, Disney Plus, ESPN, Hulu, Netflix, Pandora, Peacock, Prime Video, Spotify Premium, YouTube. So this is definitely like your streaming card, 4% back. So lots of names again. You probably have, you know, at least one or two of those streaming. Some people have like 6. All right, for the last section, we have Planet Freddy purchases. So you have antique stores, used merchandise, secondhand stores. So Sounds like thrift stores will be included. You got House of Vintage, Value Village, so quite a few places there. Then we have bus lines, which include Greyhound, Coach USA, EV charging. So if you have an EV, this is basically your fuel card too, 4% back. And I looked on there, I noticed two that stood out to me was uh, the Electrify America and Tesla, but you also got Blink charging and then ChargePoint. If you got, I'm not sure what's in your area, but if you have an electric vehicle, this is basically your fuel card for that. Then you got local and suburban commuter passenger transports, including ferries. I'm not too sure about most of those, but if you live in that area, maybe it's something that you would actually use. I was looking for like Metro to see it's on there. I would think that maybe uh, Metro would be included in DC. Then you got passenger railways. So if you want to take a trip somewhere and you want to do the scenic way instead of flying, take a train. You got Amtrak on there, which I know still runs where I'm from, where I used to live at in Florida. There was an Amtrak near there, so take a train ride, see things, 4% back. And last one, other transportation services. Here I noticed the Uber and the Lime, which I see those often in the DC area. So more 4% categories. All right, so as you guys have seen, that was a lot. So when you look at the first picture, which I'll put it back up on the screen, and it just says 4% on self-care, select sports, recreation, entertainment, impactful purchase, it didn't seem like much. But when I broke that down, I actually went through each category. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to get 4% back. So I would look at this card, and if those are things that you use frequently or shop at frequently, not a bad card to get. You know, it covers a lot of areas. And maybe if you're in the Wells Fargo ecosystem and you already have the autograph or whatever and their active cash or whatever, this might be another one because with Wells Fargo, if you have either one of the autograph cards, you can transfer those over to that card and use it to transfer out to transfer partners. So these 4% categories could actually be more valuable to transfer over to a transfer partner. Now, if you don't shop at those places often or often enough that it's worth getting a 4%, getting this card with 4% versus just having a 2% card because you only shop there every now and then don't get it. But the easy bonus, the 4% areas are a lot more diverse than I expected. I didn't realize they were going to cover so many areas. So I'm glad I dug a little deeper into it. I hope you guys can understand why I wanted to go through this at the end so you guys can understand how many things it covers. And it's a no annual fee card. So if you already got the cards you want, maybe this can add to your, categories, get you a little higher percentage. But if you have other ones you're aiming for, you're trying to do the Chase 524, whatever it is, maybe keep focus on that, save this for later. But a lot better than I expected. So it's not too bad of a card, no annual fee, so I can't complain. If you guys check those boxes on quite a few of those categories, definitely get it. It's basically a store card for many stores. And remember, like I always say, if you don't have the cash, you don't have the credit. Only spend what you have. I don't want you guys going in debt. I want you guys to get free cash back, get free travel. I want you to get things for free. If you guys liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to help the channel grow. And I see you guys in the next one.